Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of the Maxwell rework, where we showcase everything and anything to do with Maxwell, as far as I can tell, for the beta. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I had a chance to kind of just briefly check these out beforehand, and let me just say, these new changes to Maxwell make him awesome. Okay, so let's start this all out, shall we? Okay, so of course Maxwell's HP is still stuck at 75, but a few things have also changed. You can now use the Codex Umbra to kind of siphon through different things, make a Shadow Servant, which, let's just show how this works. Place a Shadow Servant down, and it automatically will, it looks like, kind of have like a Swiss Army knife built into it. Essentially, what will happen is when you have a Shadow Servant and it's going to be chopping down these trees, I'm just going to be sitting here doing absolutely nothing, and it's going to, bring you the resources. Phenomenal, right? Freaking phenomenal. So literally, you don't have to do nothing. They just have a Swiss Army knife of a axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel, and they just literally do everything. So you can just stand there AFK and let them do the work. I don't even know what to tell you. This is so cool. They also, of course, pick up anything that's in the vicinity. It looks like anything that's in their range for the time being until they obviously disappear. So they have a small radius. So if you look at this radius for this one here that I'm going to be making is this whole area. So it's going to chop down everything that's in this area and pick up everything that's in this area too. They are still at 1 HP, meaning if they obviously get hit, they're going to die. The Shadow Duelists, on the other hand, have 75 HP. That's right, they have 75 HP. So, and of course you can get up to 6 of these things. So I'm gonna double check one thing, but it looks like the fact that they have this, hopefully it looks like they struggle with that. Okay, so I was just double checking to see if the duelists attack something, if they pick up the remains and bring them to you, but it does not look like that's the case at all. All right, next up, if you have a top hat, you can imbue the top hat with a magician's chest. And this is what I went crazy over because it is literally insane. You imbue your top hat, which now, literally, as long as you have a top hat, turns into, yes, a top hat. So you put your stuff inside of it, you keep it in your inventory. Maybe if you want to wear it, who knows? I don't know. What else are you going to do with it, right? Obviously you want to wear a top hat. Now you go to your magician's chest. Ahaha, they're connected. The same works for a shadow chester. So if you have a shadow chester, no matter where it's located, I haven't tested if it works in a different shard, aka inside the caves and above ground, but freaking awesome. So yeah, I honestly don't know. Like, it's crazy. So I'm going to test a few more things here in a minute, just while we are on the video. Before the end, I'm going to go down into the caves and see if I can still access it from the caves, but I'm assuming you could. I'm sure they probably have some sort of coding for that. Next up, you can make a shadow prison around enemies and or creatures, which literally makes a shadow prison around them, so you can go up to them and then punch them, because Maxwell is allowed inside that prison, but they are not. Pretty awesome. The next up is a shadow sneak, which from what I can tell, I don't exactly know what this does, but it looks like it attacks the, thing around the air. So if there's a butterfly or whatnot, it converted actually the bunny into a nightmare bunny, so that was kind of interesting. It also looks like right now with the shadow prison, it might be broken. I don't know if it's actually not working properly because it stops the enemies in their tracks and prevents them from doing anything. Let's try this on spiders and see what happens. See if it does anything. Okay, so it looks like it just scares the crap out of them. It doesn't seem to be doing any damage. I know it does convert them into the different variants, so might be something that they change up or in the future. So I can't really comment too much on that. I just wanted to obviously take a look at everything and showcase it as fast as I can, because I honestly just love this. I think it's so cool. So yeah, for the last little part, I'm gonna go ahead and try the magician's hat to see in the basement if I can still access the flint. First thing we got to do is actually locate where it is in the caves. Let's just do that real quick. Be able to do our little code here. And then once I do that, I should be able to actually see on the map, there's one right next to us. Should I let our little shadow duelist take care of the caves? Now, this is one thing that I'm wondering about, actually. Let's just see here. So, up there, is it going to target the caves? Targets the cave entrance. Okay. I was a little bit of a worry for me because obviously you have to be a little bit cautious with that, because the shadow duelist will automatically target anything that's a rock formation, axe the trees, and of course dig up anything that's in the vicinity. So It looks like you have to just be cautious of where they're being placed, but as long as they're not in that circle, you should be fine. So if we try this hat, I don't know if it's still going to be connected to that, so this is going to be the last thing I'm kind of curious about. It is an ender chest, essentially. If you don't know what Minecraft ender chests are, they're linked chests that no matter what you do, no matter where you are in the world, they kind of communicate. And they're not. So it looks like it's per shard, meaning that the top hat is obviously linked to the shard itself. So you could probably make another magician's box for the caves exclusively. I figured as much. I didn't expect it to not to be this way. So you know, now if I go here and I put this top hat in here, or sorry, I put the miner hat in there, it's going to be linked there. And then of course, if I go upstairs and I check it again, it's going to have the flint and the seeds inside of it. So nonetheless, pretty amazing stuff. I honestly am astounded by this rework. This makes me want to play Maxwell. I'm going to be playing Maxwell. I think Maxwell has a lot of versatility now because you can literally stop enemies in their tracks and do whatever else you want to do with them. Plus you have an ender chest, which in Don't Starve Together terms can be really game changer. Now, I don't know if Maxwell's anybody else other than Maxwell was able to manipulate or use it. I would assume no. I don't think that would make much sense for other players to be able to use it. But I mean, if they can, I think that's pretty crazy. You know, I obviously, I guess I can try it real quick just to see if I respawn in as maybe like a Weber, maybe, if it's the same idea. Now, just curious on something here that I just noticed. Now, I made the magician's box in the caves, and I also had one above ground. If I use this right now, okay, so somewhere around here, it's might just not. If I looking around, I don't know where the heck I put it. Maybe I put it near the. I think I put it near the entrance. Oh, there it is. Okay, it just doesn't show up. So it doesn't have a map icon just yet. So I'm sure they'll fix that. But yeah, so it's tied to the shard. So you have the seeds here and you have the flint. And of course, if you go back into the caves, it's going to have the other one too. Now, top hats are always important for Maxwell anyways to raising the sanity. So it's definitely something cool that you're most likely going to want to obviously have whenever you get a chance. So really cool. Okay, so next step and last step is obviously going to be tossing this on the ground. So it's a pickup magician's top hat. It's also imbued with a bunch of stuff. As far as I know from Maxwell, that's all the big changes that I see right here. They might add a few things later on, maybe like adjust a few things, but nonetheless, freaking awesome. Great job, Clay. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. My favorite part about this is the fact that literally you can access anything and you're not losing stuff because it looks like the main... See, that's the other confusing part for me, actually, is I wonder what happens if... I wonder what happens if the hat, you know, goes down to 0%. Is it whatever's inside the box? That might be something to think about. That. All right, let's just try that actually really quick before we get a little bit too ahead of ourselves with this. So I'm going to smash up the magician's box. Take that out of the way, and I'm going to open up my hat, and the items are still in there. Okay, so the items still remain in probably the last item available. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but like I don't know if there are ways to properly destroy this thing. You can't obviously light it on fire or anything else. So unfortunately, there's really no way to kind of, unless I deconstruct it. I wonder if I could use the deconstruction staff on it. Deconstruction staff. Let me just see what happens here if I do that real quick. Okay, so the hat is gone. So let's make a new hat just to test something out here. This is all test purposes only. And then let's, of course, imbue this one. So now it's imbued with magic. And it says you must unequip it first. Okay, sure. Which makes sense. You don't want to imbue it while it's on your head. Okay, so... that is actually pretty sweet. This is exactly what I was curious about. So it looks like this is outside another realm. It's exactly what Clay said. Essentially, the way this works is this hat and storage within this can never be truly destroyed. You can never destroy it or break it or whatever. This is king. I love this so much. Okay, the last little... that is so cool. What a great job, Clay. So this whole contraption, you get two of them. So not only do you get... let's just talk about this real quick. You get... you know, you get 12 inventory spots that are not even tied to the world whatsoever, meaning that if somebody burns down your entire base or something happens, you still have this forever and ever and ever. It's not going to disappear. They're not going to go anywhere. As soon as you make another one and imbue it, it's still there. So they're just out there in the realm. Now, I obviously don't know about spoil rates, for example. When I'm referring to that is that if you have something in here, it's going to indicate that this is stuck at 12 days until it finishes spoiling. Now, if you are logged off of the server and 12 days pass by and there's nothing that is in there, I'm assuming it will still spoil. So there's a few questions to be had about all that stuff, but nonetheless, hopefully I'm going to answer my last question here by re-rolling my character. So let's go ahead and re-roll my character and let's choose Wes. And then let's go ahead and grab that top hat that's imbued. I'm assuming we won't be able to access it. If we are, I don't even know what to tell you. And you cannot use it. Okay, perfect. I actually like that. I think that Maxwell should be the only person to be able to kind of, play around with the whole magic situation behind it. It is cool that when you can still wear the hat, so you still have the shadow effect nonetheless. So somebody could even transport the hat to you, bring it to you. It's not like a Maxwell. Sorry, it's not like a Wartox soul that you can't take out of your inventory once it's imbued. Anyways, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this. This is really awesome. Thanks again for watching. I will catch you in the next one. If you enjoy this, please comment down below. I think this is phenomenal. And I will see you when I see you, hopefully on Twitch stream, so we can kind of go over this together because I think it's awesome. But I will see you later on. Thanks again for watching.